United Kingdom is very smaller today, and yet at one time it ruled a fourth of the world population and nearly a quarter of world's landmass. But that was then and this is now. So how powerful is United Kingdom today? The answer is a little confusing due to its political instability and economic crisis, but is still a very important nation. A lot of that is due to its island location, which make it an important maritime trade route, a connecting point between North America, mainland Europe, and Asia. 95% of Britain's economic activities depends upon Britain's maritime trade routes. So, to protect them, the United Kingdom maintain an active military personnel of nearly 150,000 people. With the world's fourth highest defense budget, their airports currently possess around 500 combat aircraft and Navy fleet contain 13 frigates and 6 elite destroyers. They also have 2 aircraft carriers and they make up what they call the nation's ultimate weapon, which are a continuous 8-sea nuclear deterrents. These are 4 high-tech nuclear-capable submarines, one of which is constantly patrolling the seas surrounding the UK. This makes them powerful, but they are not exactly the superpowers. There is a reason why Britain had to give up their empire. World War II and the period afterward maxed out Britain's resources. They became increasingly dependent on the United States, lost control of India and with it an enormous amount of manpower. By 1956 and their mishandling of Swiss crisis, it was clear that Britain could no longer sustain itself or its empire independently. A mass decolonization issued with Britain's granting independence to nearly all of their territories, including the release of Hong Kong as recently as 1997. Economically, United Kingdom is a little unstable after Brexit. For example, sharply after Brexit, its GDP decreased by 5.2%, foreign investment decreased by 13%, and trade volume decreased by 13.6%. And then, during the pandemic, the country borrowed loan to sustain its economy, a loan of more than £400 billion, and the situation became aggravated because of the energy crisis in Europe after the Russian oil and gas blockade. But it still stands in the top 10 economies of the world with a GDP of $3.2 trillion and is the 8th most powerful country, just behind France. It is also the permanent member of United Nations Security Council. Well, Turkey's influence partially stems from its massive military presence due to the mandatory conscription. Turkey boasts the second largest army in NATO alliance beside the US.